We are Kianda and Elonda, two sisters originally from Camden, New Jersey. Join us while experiencing this RV lifestyle.
This morning, my plug burnt up on my RV. My surge protector also burnt up. I have my neighbor helping me, putting in a new plug. We have our new plug here, so we're about to redo it.
Hello everyone! Before I begin, we'd like to share our sincere appreciation for your viewing our channel and leaving encouraging and awesome comments. Please continue to do so. So with that said, I'm sure you've seen or heard of burned out 30 amp plugs on campsite pedestals and RVs. I'm also sure that you've heard of many theories, many of them wrong or inadequate or insufficient for the problems that you're experiencing. But you know the problem is more common during air conditioning seasoning and connected to your RV's actual load. So I've had a minor RV plug burnout and investigated the possible causes. I wanted to discuss some potential difficulties and my experience in changing the plug with the help of my favorite RV park neighbor, Steve. First, know these two crucial facts about the 30 amp RV plug and receptacle. The 30 amp RV plug features two current carrying flat blade terminals, line and neutral, plus a circular grounding terminal that only carries current under defect conditions. And the 30 amp plug also needs 120 volt AC wiring. Now keep in mind that a 3-wire dryer plug receptacle is different from this, as it has a 250 volt current carrying ability, and even though it has a L-shaped ground terminal. So what heats this plug? Poor plug receptacle contact and current utilization that is too high will likely cause heat. Overloading is not necessarily the issue. Circuit breakers trip when overloaded. RVs and pedestals should have 30 amp circuit breakers. In an overloaded circuit, one functional switch can cut the power. So the pedestal's female contact also may wear, increasing interface resistance. Heat expands the female terminal, lowering contact pressure on your plug's male terminal when the load is on the circuit. That increases heat and expansion. It's a runaway scenario that will cause a fire if the expansion didn't cut the circuit's current fast enough to prevent the plug and receptacle from burning. So with that said, the damage is still real. Now, heat damages plugs, receptacles, and its wiring. So check the plug if RV voltage drops. If unplugged, try the RV side plug. It should be heated, but not too hot to the touch or have an unpleasant smell. For several reasons, 30 amp RV plugs have this difficulty. First, the RV plugs at the park receptacle may be too old because many opened years ago with just 30 amp services for some or all of their sites. Now, depending on the campsite use, many receptacles may even be decades old. Campers often plug into receptacles less often in places with many summer inhabitants, extending their lifespan. Electrical connections corrode, they pit, or have deposits every season. This is climate depending, however. Although temperature extremes, humidity, particulate matter, and even corrosive atmosphere like salt air can hasten this destruction.
So right now we're learning how to put it back together. So we have the big wire we've already scripted. I'm going to go in between here. And then we're going to tighten down the bolts as we do each one. But in order to get this up, you have to pull this up out of here like this. Unloose the screw.
At every RV site, the 30 amp capable RV outnumbers the 50 amp capable RVs. You may safely put a 50 amp RV wire into a 30 amp outlet, but not the other way around. Even without the power adapter, more RVs have 30 amp shore power. Most travel trailers, fifth wheels, pop-ups, hybrids, Class B and C motorhomes, and smaller motorhomes, and even any motorhome that has one or fewer air conditioners. Also, keep in mind the use limits. Even with 30 amp service, RVs are notoriously close to using their maximums. At 120 volts, a 30 amp receptacle can deliver 3600 watts as opposed to a 50 amp which can deliver 12,000 watts. Consider what runs in an RV. Air conditioners, hair dryers, space heaters, electric cooking equipment, your crock pots, pressure cookers, immersion cookers, microwaves, converters, water heaters. All of these things may draw more than 1200 watts. All or one of these things may draw more than 1200 watts. So a medium-sized travel trailer on a hot day, the air conditioner and converter, it's most likely going to charge the batteries. and supply DC loads most of the time. Even that RV is drawing over 2/3 of the circuit's authorized power, with a few hundred watts for TVs and other devices. A larger RV with 50 amp service may include a second air conditioner, electric water heaters, more gadgets, a large microwave, and even more people utilizing more equipment. So if you average double the load of the smaller RV, you only consume 40% of the rated current, assuming a load balance. With 50 amp service, a hair dryer won't trip the 30 amps in the trailer's breaker. So how do you avoid this? First, let's get this out the way. This is not caused by a power surge or a miswired receptacle. Therefore, surge protectors and other EMS devices won't really help you. Now, high quality electrical management systems, or the EMS, it usually has a display and it shows you how many amps you're using. So you can cut electrical loads before something catastrophic happens if you've reached the limits. Low voltage indicates EMS monitoring. Trips typically average 105 volts. A pedestal close to 30 amps at 120 volts generate 450 watts of heat at those connections. Therefore, the plug most likely will melt before the faulty situation occurs. Checking the receptacle before inserting an appliance is the greatest practice you can ever follow, especially how well it fits into the plug. I've seen at campgrounds where 30 amp outlets were so loose that the plug kept falling out. Stop whatever you're doing and inform the campsite. Check the pedestal for 15 or 20 amp circuits and use one of those for the basic power until they can get it fixed, such as like running your converter or your refrigerator. When you connect, the receptacle should work, but that's not the end and that's not conclusive. Check the plug while running heavy loads for long durations. You can check it by touching it and feeling how hot it is, and reduce your load and monitor it if it seems particularly overheated. Inform the campsite and request repairs if you can't use any of your appliances. If caught early, the campsite can repair the receptacle. If not, heat can damage your plug, short power lines, and pedestal wiring, as seen here. Now, attention can save you and the campsite manager's money and prevent fires or even injuries. No surge protector is needed because this is not, once again, a power surge. Surge protectors are extremely useful, but not for this issue. Lastly, watch your circuit loads. Check plugs for heat, check for shore, power cord, wiring, and receptacles. Check which campgrounds maintain electrical equipment. Make sure a qualified individual is actually used to repair the pedestals. A newly installed receptacle's wiring may be acknowledged by the first one who uses it. And don't throw your money at things that won't stop the issue you're attempting to fix. I hope this video has helped in some way in diagnosing your issue, and we look forward to sharing more of our adventures. Onward and upward.
We are Keonda and Elonda, two sisters originally from Camden, New Jersey. Join us while experiencing this RV lifestyle.